All right, guys. Can you hear me this time? I think my settings are okay. They were messing around with me though before I started the stream. I double checked, but seems to be good on my end. So hopefully everyone's doing good. We're gonna have a late night chill stream on a Saturday. It's been a while. I think I'm rolling on Rumble and Facebook, so should be pretty good. Got some videos to show. I actually got one more to quickly do up. But got some stuff to show. Of course, going to throw the link in the chat here very shortly, actually. And then start playing some of these videos. Start talking about Bigfoot, start talking about other stuff. Do a little bit of promoting of the conference. Talk about solo camping trips coming up that I plan on doing. Sorry, I'm just sharing and doing a bunch of different stuff. Okay, so first things first. I want to make sure I got all these videos. But hopefully everyone's doing pretty good. A lot of craziness is going on today, I'm sure, as a lot of people know, with President Trump being shot on stage and stuff. So, of course, a lot of people know about that. If you guys want to go and listen to that, I would suggest go to Rumble, go to the B System, where my co-hosts are doing a show, have done a show tonight on it and stuff. So yeah, if someone wants to come on and talk about all that and stuff, I guess, whatever can be talked about, but mainly it's, high strangeness, Bigfoot stuff, cryptids, ancient civilizations, lost treasures, kind of things like that, things that are just lost to this modern age. We have amnesia, that's why we can't remember the names of these cryptids, these monsters. And that's why the Lost Cryptids Conservatory is trying to spread awareness to what's actually out there and stuff through my own experiences and other people's experiences, that there's actually stuff out there that we can't explain. We don't know what's going on. We've experienced it. We've been through it, and it's like, it's right there outside our houses in the countryside, or it's, close enough where most Americans would never think that there would be a 1,000-pound walking upright Sasquatch or a stick man or a dog man crossing the road, that gets up on all fours, and then starts running on two legs. There's a lot of things. So a lot of things out there that we just can't explain, and stuff in the sea, stuff that happens during storms, abnormal mountain conditions that strike and stuff. I just remember that. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a couple instances where there's mountaineers and mountain climbers over in Europe, and I believe in Russia, where for some reason they're up climbing the mountains, that all of a sudden they get struck with this severe illness where they actually start bleeding and really horrifically dying and stuff. And it's very interesting that we might dive into a little bit, but yeah, there's two people died, and of course there's there's a lot going on and stuff. It's pretty weird and stuff, but like I would say, just wait a couple days, see what happens, see what comes out. It's very early, of course, but regardless and stuff, we don't want to see that happen. Of course, that's never what any American wants to see on American TV with any American president, whether you agree or disagree and stuff. I wouldn't want Joe Biden to have that done to him or anything like that. So it's definitely not a good look and stuff. We're definitely in a little bit of a trouble. Obviously, our country has issues. We've seen it and stuff, and we really need to come together and fix it. And we do need to take a stand on certain things, but we do also need to come together better on things that we disagree with, because we're not always going to be able to agree on how to go about things. and even in the Bigfoot community and world and stuff, you know. So it happens and stuff. But so, anyways, yeah. So if you want to talk about a little bit about that, I would suggest in the Beast System on Rumble. You can find it with the lion logo. Me and my co-hosts Emily and Melissa. Actually, I am the co-host. It's Emily and Melissa and me. I'm the low man on the totem pole, happily. And they do. They're obviously I wasn't on the show tonight and stuff, but they did a show covering this, and this Thursday, I'm sure we're going to be talking more about it with more information and all that. So, got a little distracted right there. I'm trying to do a bunch of different things. I guess I don't really have to do this one, but let me get some of these videos ready to go so we can show. And they're just more of the same, just a different variety of clips. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to come on tonight and stuff, like I said, but felt like it and stuff. Been a very busy week, very crazy. Another crazy week for me. It always seems to happen, but I don't. I didn't cut my arm off this week either, so. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. This what video wasn't supposed to have sound, but it has sounds. All right. So we'll show this some AI video and stuff that's been going around. Maybe you guys have seen it, and it's just more of the same. Of I don't know, this need to just make up shit. Whatever. It's what people do. You know. It's whatever. There's thousands of circles out there. You circled in red and stuff. You can't make comments about all of them. It would take all day. It would take up your life and stuff. So, but there are some interesting stuff, and we do see it with more AI videos and stuff. But this is some of the more. Did it come up? More basic stuff. Stephen Crow videotape in 1993. Wait, and what is it? Look at that little baby. This is the AI and stuff. This is what AI video can do and stuff. It's still imagery and movement and water. And very easy for AI to do. So, of course, we're going to see more and more of this. When it's in the background of trees and it's actually muffled and screened and in between layers of foliage and stuff, it might actually look a lot better. And potentially, they'd be able to see a lot more people. They're just this and stuff. But you can do see how good it's getting and stuff, besides the head and the baby. It doesn't seem like there's 8 limbs going on, and you're getting a little bit better. So I thought this was, of course, interesting. And we're going to see this more and more of it. And, with other cryptids and UFOs and sea monster footage, it's going to be so hard to. Well, it's not going to be hard to tell. You just got to protect people, and there are technologies that help protect AI generation. But you'd be surprised what people have been posting, what people do post. Pretty out there kind of a post again. I'm gonna show it and stuff. That's actually what I'm doing right now on the phone and ready. Just everyone listening should know about it, but there's too many people who just want to believe anything that's going up their butt. So I should have just played it without the sound. Doesn't matter. Anyways, that is the AI video. It's a little big old baby head. All right, so let's get this other video ready. Let me get this other thing ready. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. if anyone wants to come on, it's a chill stream, so we're going to hang out and stuff, have a little fun. This is the one. We got a brand new picture of a extreme cryptid sighting of a shadow creature. So we're going to take a look at that as we dive into this. And I multitask and do a bunch of different things because I wasn't really ready tonight to do a full show with all these videos. I had them all ready to go, but I didn't have time to. I had crop them and do all that. I didn't add any special effects and stuff like that, which I would usually do. All right, let's get rid of that, and then we'll get this video going of the shadow creature. All right, there's the shadow creature. What do you guys think it is? Came into frame at the speed of light, and then all of a sudden, poof, it shimmered. Pause it. So there it is. What do you guys think it is? Let's take some bets, I guess. Give you a little bit of time to analyze it and think what is going on with this thing. It's actually not nothing crazy. I'll play it and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. And this is typically what's probably happening to a lot of people out there who whipping around and flashing and taking pictures and doing some video and oh, there's something behind the bush. Let me go over there and snap, 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 snap. Right? As you can see, of course, cameras and technology. And something that's actually really black can cause a distortion and stuff and with the movement. And actually, I did crop this video picture in a little bit, and you can see the background with the forest and the trees and everything else is pretty clear, and it's actually a decent photograph where you could actually see pretty far out there. But the creature itself, the bear, with its movement and its all black color, causes distortion in the picture itself with just the bear and stuff. Of course, if you have autofocus and this and that, it causes a bunch of different issues. But it just goes to show that it is actually kind of hard if we're actually going to get pictures and video of these things if they're on the move and stuff. Especially, the pictures are not going to be that good, and you add AI into that, and you can get AI that's going to start, it's going to basically make us to where we are going to need the Patterson shot every single time to be able to prove or disprove, or at least, well, it's not AI. It's not that crappy AI now. And this is the problem and stuff. Because that looks better than, that, and that's someone trying to take a photograph of a bear outside of their cabin, and it gets scared off, right? So this idea that it's not going to be a problem, it is, and we're going to have to step up our game a lot. We're going to have to get something that you can see the face, something that you can be able to see the hair coming off of it, because if I got something and it's even look like this, I'm going to be jumping in joy, shouting, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot, blah, blah, blah." But it ain't going to be good enough. You might experience something with it that goes on to the photo. But if the photo is looking like this, looking like that, it's not going to be good enough. So, yeah, it's actually not going to be another 50 years of Bigfoot. We got to jump up our level even more because of the AI. And luckily, it hasn't been too flooded and crazy yet, but it will. All right, let's get this other video up. All right, so this is a post that I came across because, you see people posting, and I don't know why people lie, but people lie, and you see this posted probably several places. And, I'm sure you guys might recognize this photograph. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe you guys don't know where it's from. But I try to crop out the name of the person who posted it and stuff and all that because I don't need to call out them. Particularly the more I look into them, they're just, doing whatever. What's the point? But the point that I am trying to make is that, for some odd reason that people have this need to grab stuff. They're really interested in the Bigfoot, but they'll grab stuff like this photograph, right? And this was a swamp ape Sasquatch variant image captured near Savannah, Georgia. And, Stacy Brown, of course, very familiar with this photograph is that's the Everglades, about 7 hours from Savannah. Because if anyone would recognize this, they would recognize this as a very famous part of a video taken from the Everglades. And of course, I ask by who, and Mr. Dave Shealy himself said, I took it. I took the video, 7 minutes long. And of course, I already knew that and stuff. I guess I didn't, but I didn't do a good enough job because there's the person who made the post. But I just wanted the answer from that guy. And the more I looked into them, it's just they're kind of. It seems like it's just a family of people who are very interested in a Bigfoot, and they're probably not, going the right path of spreading information and stuff like this. There's actually a couple of different posts and stuff that I found from them, from that particular page or group or whatever the heck, that, just grabbing photographs and saying, oh, this is from here, and my buddy took this photograph. And, there's a lot of people are very interested in the subject, but they're going about it the very wrong way. And it's very interesting of why people do that for some reason. And we could speculate a lot, but I think it's popularity and community itself of combating loneliness that I think a lot of people are dealing with outside of all the craziness that's outside of the Bigfoot community, just like today, what happened today. They get into this Bigfoot world, the Bigfoot community, and there's a lot of people talking, and there's no major politics that are allowed usually, right? In all these groups, there's a lot of friendly conversations, even regardless of people's backgrounds and beliefs and political beliefs and all that crap, So there's a lot of community building and stuff, but in that, there's people who seem to just want to be important or feel the need to, be more than what they are. And this might be an opportunity. And, you keep finding this all over the place for whatever reason. I don't know. What are you going to do? Shake them down and ask them and stuff. And, it's just, it is what it is. It's people. That's what it is. So, but I do have some more stuff. I don't know why people lie and say, this stuff's from here when it's a video from Dave Shealy. We've interviewed him on the show. Been to Florida. I wanted to know more information of like, who got it and stuff, because are you being told the information or are you just saying it? Not like it really matters, because there's hundreds of other people just like that doing the same exact thing. Just like this. I'm not sure what this is. Saw this golfing one day last spring. And I'm sure you guys have seen this. We've shown this photograph a couple months ago. And with the different post, different comment, some other person claiming to have seen it and stuff. And again, this is some other random person who is taking photographs and for whatever reason, just saying, "Oh, saw this golfing one last one day last spring." Like, okay, what'd you do? Did it give you a golf ball or it waved to you? Instead of this person and stuff, just saying, "What do you guys think about this photograph? I find it very intriguing and stuff. What do you guys think? This, and this." They're, it's lying and misrepresenting themselves and stuff. I'm sure this person could be a very nice person, could be a very good, nice person to talk to and have discussions with in the Bigfoot community. But at the same time, this isn't a good way to start off, I mean, so let me, I think I got one more. Put the link in the chat. Like I said, anyone can come on. No one has to come on. Doesn't really matter. Of course, because the show will go on. I can go on here ranting and raving and talking about different stuff, of course, and have different things I want to show. Let me take this off and put this on and try to finish up this one because it's taking too long. But I believe it is done. Yes, okay. And then I also have that didn't work. I'm gonna try to find look up the that mountaineer illness and stuff that I was talking about earlier, and then we'll talk about a little solo stuff that I'm doing. I went through some more audio and stuff, but it hasn't been anything conclusive enough for me to show or really talk about. So, other than that that wah sound from the coyote vocalization a couple weeks back, nothing further has happened. So, a little bummed out, but at the same time, that's this new in the game. I mean, only real reason I'm reporting it more is because I'm trying to get it more active and engaging with you guys about what's actually going on and stuff, and just instead of, well, there's really nothing to talk about, so why mention it? But at the same time, there's a lot of, these things don't stay in the same place all the time. I think they're always constantly moving around, but still generally in the same area. Hopefully we can determine how often with better audio and more consistent stuff. But of course, it's just hard. Everyone knows that. All the researchers know how hard it is. It is easy in some ways, but at the same time, it's hard. It seems like, and stuff happens unexpectedly when you least expect it. And at the same time, you're ready to go, itching, and sometimes it can be duds. Sometimes it could be, well, what ifs and little maybes. Sometimes it's very inconclusive stuff. Most of the time, it's just a lot of bug bites and mosquitoes to the face. That's about it. A lot of mosquitoes to the face. Sensible Bigfoot Project. A couple weeks, I am planning a solo trip down to the NAWAC's Cucumber Creeks area X. Awesome. It's gonna be pretty sweet. I wish I could get out some of those western states or Midwest states, Western states, East Coast states, of course, but there's plenty of them here in Michigan. I got a into that. I don't know if I guys already told you this, but I did get a Bigfoot report and a orb report at the same time. Actually, these two kids seen an orb, and then they fled back to the house, and then a Bigfoot was sighted walking the wood line outside of the house and window and scared the preteens or early teens pretty good and stuff. So seeing an orb floating through the woods and stuff scared them. They ran back to the house, which wasn't too far away, connected to the woods and stuff, the area. And then they seen a Bigfoot prowling around or walking around, I would say, I guess, staring and looking at them at the wood line where they could clearly see it and stuff. Pretty massive frame. So that, of course, is Michigan, my area here. It's pretty interesting. And this is coming from a pretty honest guy that has no reason to lie, considering I randomly brought up Bigfoot. You always, catch people off guard with it. And most of the time they laugh and say, nah, I don't believe that. But every once in a while, people will scratch their heads and all of a sudden something comes back to them and say, you know what? This happened. So I don't know what to make of it. I've seen an orb in the woods too, a ball of light. It was an area where we did have Bigfoot activity. Are they connected? I don't know. Are they one and the same? I don't know. But there are strange things out there. That's why we talk about these things. I've seen UFOs a number of times in my life, actually. Actually have one filmed here on this channel, and that's called a Michigan UFO or something sighted or something. It's on the channel, but you can see a blinking plane flies in a plane. The plane's blinking, and you see the ball, this light, this UFO, I guess, fly, and it is not blinking and stuff. Of course, everyone knows that all aircraft, even drones, have to have blinking lights. So that is on there. I've seen that. I've also encountered and talked about this, what I call the stick man creature, which was a skinny humanoid, naked, looked like the Rake, or my dad who's seen it, would say, it was a tall gray, naked gray alien, a tall gray, naked alien type of thing, or some type of naked humanoid thing. Other people would say it was a Wendigo. It was just a common ghoul, which you could look up a common ghoul looking thing. I mean, they all look similar. It's just this naked humanoid thing. If it was a Bigfoot, it would be a emasculated, malnutrition. Can't even talk. I'm looking at who's texting me. It would look like a Bigfoot who was basically in Auschwitz, who was starved to death at a death camp, if that's what it was. A 7-foot tall Sasquatch who's been in a death camp and is literally on its deathbed, starving to death. That's how skinny this creature was. It's 7 feet tall, because I'm 6 foot tall. It was taller than me, so I would say it was 7 feet tall, because when we walked over there, the tree stump and stuff was just over my head, and of course its head was on top of it. But long story short, I guess we'll tell the story again. I had my buddy over and stuff, and I basically would take my friends when we lived out in this country, old country house on this old dirt road. I'd take my friends out in the woods, and I would, I wouldn't say we were going Bigfooting, but we would go in the woods at nighttime, and I would be, doing the Bigfoot thing, but we would just be hanging out, walking through the woods, basically like we do now. I mean, all you do is look around and hang out and observe things that would happen. Not much different, except we have more equipment and cameras and stuff. But this particular time, we went out to the backyard, past the barn, past the wire cow fence, into an older pasture and stuff. But it was overgrown, and there was a little swampy area and stuff, and some ponds, and then it'd go over to a cow pasture. And we had planned to go over there, but we crossed the fence and stuff, and we started walking a little bit, and the moon was out. I don't know if it was a full moon, but it was bright. It was definitely bright enough to see. And me and my buddy were walking. All of a sudden, we're looking at this tree. I'm looking at this tree, and we keep walking, and we look at this tree, and there's this humanoid thing that is ducking, and when I stop my buddy, I'm like, "What the heck is this? What the heck is that?" And it looked like the thing popped and stuck his head up and stuff, and it was popping out like this, almost like tree peeking, but peeking out of this trunk of a tree that was cut. So when I was up to it and stuff, it was probably be up to here to me and stuff. So I could look at my tippy toes. I could look over it, but when its head was on top of it like this. So, but when it was leaning out, my friend got really freaked out and stuff, and it leaned out a couple times. But the last time, we could really see the arm, mostly the arm and the wrist and this whole arm right here was as thick as my wrist. It seemed like that's why I called it the stick man, because its whole arm was so skinny that if I did have to fight this thing, if me and him had to fight it, I was after thinking, looking back, we could grab it and wrestle it around, snap its arms like you would a stick over your knee, because its arms were that skinny. It was freaky. And so, me and my buddy's freaking out and stuff, and we go back inside to the house to get my dad real quick. And of course he's smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer, and he doesn't believe us. He goes out there and comes back inside and says he didn't see nothing, but he did actually see something. He just told us he didn't, to calm us down and to stop us from going back outside, because when he walked out there, he walked over to the corner of the fence. He didn't cross the fence. He was looking at the tree and watching it, and he seen the creature come out and do the same thing, tree peek. And he said it did it once, it did it twice, and then he said like the third time it really came out, and he got a good look of the body, kind of the legs, and he said it was like what he got reminded, what his reference was, a tall gray human, naked gray alien. And he looks at it, he turns around, and as he's walking back to the house, he's thinking, well, should I grab the gun? Should I do this? Should I do this? No. He ended up thinking very, very, very smartly, like, I'm just going to go inside and tell these rascal teenagers that there's nothing out there. Go upstairs, go hang out, go to bed. And he did. And because, well, what he's going to say, oh yeah, there's this alien thing out there, guys. Scare him half to death. And meanwhile, after school, we get out, we go to this place, and we're home alone until he gets out of work. It's like, oh yeah, that's smart. Have your kids scared to death of something they actually seen out there. So like most parents and stuff, you didn't see nothing, don't worry about it. But he did, and we actually had an interview. My dad did an interview on this show, and it's called I believe it's a special guest, and I think it's my dad or father. I can't remember exactly the title. It's been 2 years at least. It's been a while, but we did a whole show of basically instances growing up where my dad can remember UFOs, ghost stories, Bigfoot stuff, strange stuff that's happened to him over the years. And the Stickman is kind of a main focus of that. So you guys can actually listen to him and talk about it on that. So. Which is pretty sweet, actually. Because I remember growing up, there was a couple instances of seeing some weird UFO fly over my grandma's house, and having the neighbor kids here see it, and my dad come pulled in the driveway literally a minute later and was like, seeing this light over the town. And that was a triangle shaped 3 lights that flew literally less than 50 feet over the shed, over the roof of the house. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the government. I don't know, but it was the cool, cool stuff. And there's been other times where buddies were in the field and stuff, hanging out at night, and all of a sudden there's this big old aircraft thing that comes right over us, stops, looking right at us, and 30 seconds go by, and it's like, what the heck is this thing? And then it goes away. What are those? I have no idea. Guess it'd be a classic UFO. So there's been a couple of things that's happened. That's why I always say there's strange things out there. We just don't really know, but I'm not going to believe every single person that says something out of their mouth, because I know there's a lot of people that just make up stuff because all this stuff is cool and they don't have something, they don't have experience. They want to, and they want to feel included. You don't need an experience to feel included. You just need a brain with an opinion and thoughts. Good to have determination to go out there and actually try to get some evidence and get things done, but you just need a brain and an opinion, really, guys. That's why anyone can have a show and do this and talk about it, try to get out there and go do it, though. That's where it's at. That's why that's where it matters. Well, hello there. Appreciate you. Nadu Haunted. We're at the haunted extinct volcano tonight, hoping for a great investigation. So good luck to you and stuff, and maybe you'll catch something interesting that we should all check out. If you have any evidence and stuff on your channel, I'd like to take a look. I like to take a look at ghost stuff, although I don't get into it as much as I used to. As when I was a kid, I was always fascinated by the ghost videos and the evidence. There are some very interesting stuff out there that, to me, would be pretty hard to do. But then there's other videos where it's like, oh, it's just a string being pulled. But my buddy Ben, he does the ghost hunting stuff, and he actually has a couple different interesting clips of evidence of different places he's been here in Michigan, haunted lighthouses and houses in different places. So I wouldn't do the ghost stuff, but definitely would recommend him. But I did had a place to go. All right, so we're going to do some plugging of the event, guys, because it's probably about time. The link is actually in the chat for the tickets to our conference here, September 28th. That it is a Saturday. Where is... I don't have my green screen. I guess I can't do that, but I should be able to pop up some pictures. Give me a second. That's what I'll do. Yeah, so we are doing the conference September 28th. That's going to be a Saturday. The doors are opening at 9 a.m. The program is going to start at 10 a.m. And then with a lunch break in there for an hour. And then after the event, which should end at 5 to 6 or later, depending on what goes on, we're actually trying to get out there and go to where we're going to go camping out and going to investigate for some Bigfoot evidence, of course. And, maybe nothing will happen, but I'm hoping that something awesome will happen, and maybe we'll get some epic footage or audio or just experiences with some good people, and some good witnesses that will help collaborate. Well, that there's some strange stuff out there. And, the more we go out there, the more that we go to these areas, it's going to happen and stuff. So been hitting up different areas, which might not be such a good thing, but there's a lot of places that I want to check out and have been checking out. There's a lot of places I want to try to consistently go, but at the same time, it's it's a toss up, to between, going to new spots, going to different spots, or going to some of these older spots, same old spots that have brought evidence and stuff. So it's always a gamble, You're always second guessing. Well, did I go to the right place today? Maybe I should have went to this other spot, or I should have went this way, or things like that. That always happens. So, all right. So, let's see if you guys can see this. All right. So, yes, this is the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference, September 28th, 2024. This is at the Ingham County Fairgrounds. This is at the Banquet Hall, which is at 700 East Ash Street, Michigan, Mason, Michigan. This is in between, just south of the capital of Lansing, Michigan, and just north of Jackson, Michigan. And this is actually, you would be surprised, but this is in a county where there's a number, dozens of reports of Bigfoot sightings throughout the years. And it is farmland. There is nothing spectacular about this county. It's mostly farmland besides the capital, of course, but it is all farmland, and then chunks of woods in the middle of the farmland, and there's swamps, and but there is no major wilderness areas. There's no mountain to scale up for days and days and days. There is just a massive amount of food plots, farms, plenty of food, plenty of deer. Most of the people who are not walking and roaming around at nighttime in these areas, so a lot of land that is easily traversed. The Sasquatch can easily see anyone crossing the fields, coming up the roads in cars. So a little bit of the event details. The Michigan Bigfoot Dogman Conference will be held, of course, at the Bigfoot facility. Already said that. The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, of course, a research group that hopes to bring awareness to the high strangeness that really roams the backwoods and swamps of Michigan. Speakers, evidence encounters, and family fun for all ages. Of course, kids 12 and under are free, with an adult, of course. Doors will open at, I think that's supposed to be 9, but I don't know why that's 9:30, but I'll make that change. It's all right. Tickets will be at the door for $35. Tickets online for $30. And you must show a name or receipt. So all you have to do is when you click and you add this and stuff, there is no additional fees. It is a flat $30. You will get a email and stuff, which should be a receipt and stuff, which you can print out or just show on your phone. Or honestly, we have the information provided through this. So we would actually have your email name. So to verify, which most of the time is just to make sure we don't get any of and make sure we don't get any unwanted people and stuff. And mostly this would be the people that would literally show up and cause some issues. They've already threatened to show up at this event to cause issues. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's going to be kind of interesting, but I don't think it's going to be like that stuff. Of course, anything that did happen, we quickly dealt with because it's just more nonsense, honestly. Bottom line is anyone who I deem unfit to be at this event will be told to leave promptly. And if they do not, therefore, they would be trespassing at that point, and then we go downhill from there. So yeah, it's not that hard to figure out stuff, honestly. And I have everything in the contract. It tells me I can do anything like that. So yeah, I'm not worried about any people like that. They've already made some threats and all that. So just letting you know, I mean, there's rules and stuff. So of course there's common sense stuff. But anyways, yeah, there is plenty of parking. Also, we do have an additional parking around the building and at the park right next door, which I have verified and stuff. But afterwards, we're going to a private event campground kind of research outing where Really, only people who I deem fit are going to get the information of where this campground's at, and actually get the invite to come hang out with us, because I don't want, again, more shenanigans of some troll posting up right next to us, just for no reason other than to troll, which say a lot about their character. But when people are under the influence of heavy alcohol use and other things, I'm not sure what they've mindset they're in all the time, right? So I've already just made it known and making it known that won't tolerate no stuff. And I'm already buddies with the campground owner and stuff, and none of that crap's gonna fly. And he's on speed dial anyways too. So yeah, yeah, you are allowed to and stuff. It'd be awesome to have you up at one of these conferences, maybe one of these times. I mean, next year, the year next after that. Yeah, I've had many people say threats to me and blah blah blah, but that's most of the time they don't ever do anything. And even when they give the chance, they just don't do anything. So I don't worry about people on YouTube or people threatening to sue people, or maybe to counter sue people, because no one's actually going to sue anyone first, because it's just bullshit. But no, I just don't take crap like that. It's just dumb and stuff. So we're making sure that's put out there. Um, so yeah. So even if some hooligan got a camp spot right next to us at the campground and stuff, if they're actually acting a fool and a hooligan, I'm gonna call my buddy and they're gonna get kicked out. So it's not that hard to deal with. It's not rocket science. Like, so I don't know. People can do what they want, but I would suggest people behave. And that's the problem, is just people with those situations, people just got issues, man. A lot of people got issues. It's not really my place to call it out in that, but at the same time, I'm not going to tolerate certain stuff. So, um, I got to get this last video shot over to Facebook, and then did it not save? What's going on? Shot over to Facebook, and then because it's just some really dumb stuff. Did I? I don't think I. Let's try this again, because I don't think I showed the video. I certainly didn't talk about the video that I was going to show. And this is streaming on Rumble. I did check it out, so I don't know if the comments are coming over though, so I might go over there and check real quick. As we've been having some technical difficulties streaming to Rumble connected with this for some reason. All right, it looks like it is working. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so look at these last two ones shown. I don't know if maybe you guys seen this. I don't think anyways, this just shows, the craziness and power of a big cat and stuff, and why big cats are kind of scary. Most of the time they are scared of humans and stuff, but at the same time, they would have no issue taking you down and stuff. Of course, that is not a giant elk, or even a full grown cow, but at the same time, that is going to be a 150 pound, 200 pound, 220 pound animal that the cat is chasing down and taking down with the help. And it doesn't even matter if the barbed wire fence there, if it's barbed wire or not. But you see that Animals are not to be messed around. And to be honest, you should be armed if you're out in the woods. You should be prepared. That's why I say you should exercise, because if you're not doing any push-ups and you go wrestle around a kitty, you're gonna have a bad time. But maybe that extra push-up or two might help. I know a lot of people probably don't get that, but the better shape you're in, the better chances you have to out in every outcome in every situation that you're facing, literally with your health, mental abilities, physical outcomes of dangerous situations. The more physically fit and prepared you are, the better your outcome is going to be, no matter what. So that's why you should do some push-ups. You should exercise. You should prepare yourself mentally and stuff. Have your equipment ready to go. Don't go out in the woods for 10 hours and think, oh, a water bottle, I'll be okay. That's all I need. You're not thinking right. You should have a backpack. You should have a water filtration device. You should have extra water. You should have some food. You should have a med kit, because you're going to get cut. Most of the time you're going to sprain or could fall down and stuff. So a lot of people need to work on their balance and stuff. And exercise is the one way to improve all of those things. And a lot of people, some people have been making fun of me for that, but at the same time, whatever. It's the truth. If you don't prepare yourself and you literally just go out there and just think you're going to walk up a mountain or do this or do that or go across the swamp, and you've been not preparing yourself in any sort of way at all, you're not going to have as good results as if you trained and prepared yourself. And that's not just physically, that's mentally, that's with your equipment, that you know what your equipment is about and how to perform and how to make it perform. Not just buying a really expensive piece of camera equipment and then being like, well, I don't need to actually learn how to use it. I just, turn it on and then push play, right? So no, you got to train yourself. You got to train with your equipment. You got to train your body through exercise and stuff. You got to train through your mind and stuff. You got to think. I mean, what are you out there gonna? You have to think, because otherwise you're going to take pictures of bushes in the back of your suburban neighborhood and then draw circles in them and say, hey guys, there's Bigfoot in this circle, behind this tree in the middle of the forest, right? I mean, the suburb, or there's a Bigfoot here, there's a Bigfoot there, there's a Bigfoot everywhere. Let's come on, and let's train ourselves and our minds to not really take the easy way out, to where, well, we're hoaxing, we're not meaning to hoax, well, we're lying, I don't mean to lie, I just want to be accepted in the community. Well, you don't have to do that. You need to grow a fucking background and do your things the right way, but your way. The right way is just simply, not lying, not hoaxing, just trying your darndest. And most of the time, every Bigfoot researcher will tell you, 99% of the time, nothing happens. Okay? Literally nothing happens. It's only that 1% time. And that's when we're running around with our heads cut off trying to get evidence of the situation. So you need to prepare yourself for when that 1% time happens, because you're not ready for it. Almost in every single time, you're not ready for it. You think you are, and even when you train and you're playing and stuff, it's always going to be so unexpected. You never know when it's going to happen. That's why you have to train, so you can flip that switch, get your brain going and reacting, and be like, oh, film, audio, cameras, stuff going on. Guys, go that way. Guys, we need to do this. Guys, not, wow, that was awesome. Hey, did you film that? No. Wow, I didn't even think about it. Which does happen, because it is shock and awe. It is literally, you're shocked, and you have to jump out of that and react and actually move your body and get stuff done so you can get evidence. If you're trying to get film, trying to get audio is a little better. You can just have it running. But for filming and stuff, especially if something just pops in front of you and you don't have your camera ready to go, you got to constantly train yourself to get going and moving, ready to go. You know what buttons to push. You know what settings are already all in there. Make sure your settings are all good to go. So physical training is going to help with your mental training. And you can look up all that and stuff. It's all proven. So I say do push-ups because you don't need equipment. You don't need weights. You just can do it yourself. You can't do regular push-ups. You can do push-ups on your knees. If you can't do push-ups on your knees or you can't get on your knees, go up to the wall and lean up on the wall a little bit. You can't do that. Go and lean up onto the couch a little bit. Angle yourself more. Get to be a little bit better and better and better. I would say there's a lot of different exercises and stuff for older people and people who have actual balance issues and stuff, or arthritis and stuff. So don't feel like, oh, just because you can't do it, you can't do anything. That's the mindset issue where you just already gave up without even trying. So, which a lot of people do. And don't let anyone else make fun of you for bettering yourself, exercising, or promoting that, because only a fool would do that. Take a look through some of these comments. I appreciate everyone that's in chat and stuff, like Mr. Duffy, of course, Sensible Bigfoot Project, which is, I believe, Randy Harrison. So yeah, I don't know. I don't plan on doing any push-up stuff. My arm does feel a lot better. It's healing up good. It's got feeling and stuff in between the cuts and all that. So no gangrene or anything. But definitely reminds me that you got to be careful. And I think even in the woods, we get complacent about, oh, well, we've already conquered this type of stuff. We don't really have to prepare ourselves as much, where there's a lot of missing people out there. There's a lot of people that don't prepare. And you mostly see it out in the western side of the U.S. in the deserts, where they don't bring enough water and stuff, and they barely make it out alive. And there's a lot of people go out riding motorcycles, ATVs out in the desert, and they break down, and they didn't even bring tools. They didn't even bring water. And there are some videos and some stuff where there are some broken bikes out in the middle of the desert, pretty far out there. And if that person was really out there and they didn't actually have help, that person is probably gone. And there's actually a couple different bikes and stuff and things like that scattered across the West. Because people don't think, people just don't prepare. People think, well, I'm just going to be gone for an hour. I'm just going to drive out in the desert for an hour. I'll be all right back. I don't need this, and this. And then all of a sudden something happens. It's the same thing. Well, I'm just going to go to a little Bigfoot thing. I could go out, fall, snap my leg. I'd be screaming. I'm sure someone might hear me, but I'm snapping my leg. My leg's broken, compound fracture with the bone sticking out, and I'm half passing out on the verge, right? Going into shock, right? I'm, a mile into the woods, half a mile into the woods. That's a long crawl out with something that it's going to make you pass out, and you could possibly really struggle with, right? So you should make sure that you tell someone where you're at. You should have a map or knowledge of the area. You should have a plan. If this happens, who do I call? Who's going to actually be able to come over here and do that? Of course, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere, where you got to think about, what could actually happen and what would you do in that situation? I've been in swamps and stuff a few times, and I've fallen in, and I haven't really got stuck, but I've got sucked up to my waist. I've got sucked up to my chest, the worst. Don't jump into stuff. Don't jump in a swamp. You don't need to be jumping around in a swamp. and up to my chest. And it's like, if I didn't have this embankment right here, I'd be in a very bad situation. And by myself in the middle of the woods at nighttime where no one knew where I was, uh, you know, you got to prepare yourself and understand that bad situations can happen anytime without really trying. So I always usually have a little bit of rope in my bag, knife, hatchet, water filtration device. I got rain ponchos. I got Mylar blankets, fire starters, med kit, matches. I used to have a whistle thing with a container of more matches and different stuff, but I don't have it in my bag. But um, carry a weapon, guns, bullets, whatever, plus the camera equipment, audio equipment, my battery banks, chargers, flashlight batteries, flashlights. Um, I typically don't pack a bunch of water and stuff because I use my water filtration device, my life straws, and they work pretty good and stuff. So I don't carry too much water, but usually have a gallon of water at my tent, actual camping stuff. But and then um well, what else do I got in my bag? A pencil, pen, paper, notepads. Um, I think that's pretty much about it. That I'm rocking now and stuff. A DNA kit, little envelopes, paper bags. Um, I got some glass jars that I need to disinfect, but tweezers, stuff like that. I haven't come across any DNA evidence. That's one thing that I would like to really have and find, but yeah, that's all I'm rocking and stuff. And then of course I got GoPro, I got my night vision camera, I got my cell phone camera, um, my headlamp, my big light, my new big light, which am going to show you guys. I'm kind of prototyping, but I do have basically I'm rocking a device that holds all my camera equipment and audio device and everything, so I don't have to have 8,000 hands to handle everything. I can hold something and direct it and point it, and has everything attached and stuff. So, but I do need some better quality wood, or ideally some 3D plastic printed stuff. But yes, so my bag and stuff is pretty heavy. Usually I laugh and say, here, carry it. And it's kind of heavy. I don't know. It's 25 plus pounds. And then if we're up north, of course, I'm slinging the rifle over the shoulder the whole time because I don't mess around where there's missing people. And I've already encountered stuff, and I don't want stupid stuff to happen. So in places where I feel a need to carry a big rifle, you should probably carry a big rifle. Because I'm not a prey to Bigfoot. I don't want Bigfoot to think I'm easy pickings. I'm not a pushover. Okay, I'm out there doing the things. I'm kind of trying to communicate and interact with these things, but I want these things to understand that you're not going to mess with me. You're not going to hurt me or do something stupid to me without consequences. Just like I'm not going to do something stupid to you without expecting the same consequences, right? I want to have this mutual respect, not a displacement of respect. I don't want to be above them. I don't want them to be above me. I want them right here in such a way where there's no aggressive stuff happening on either side where it doesn't need to happen for no nonsense reason. And for the most part, I think, I don't know, It's kind of hard because I don't talk to them. I don't get no feedback, right? But in some of these situations and stuff, the rifle, the gun has not deterred them from having interactions and having an actual encounter with these things. Yeah, that's the way to go too, actually, is if you got a GoPro and you got a thermal camera that doesn't record, it's you stick that GoPro on the back of that thermal camera and you run that, and that's what you do. Actually, that's what I was gonna do and stuff. But I'm saving up for a multi-thousand-dollar thermal camera that's going to hopefully knock the socks off of everything. But no, I don't have Robert Kreider's parabolic dish. I would recommend it. It's really good. Um, right now, currently, I'm actually going a different route, and basically, I'm buying a mic that you would plug into your audio, and these mics are pretty awesome. And I haven't compared them to Roberts and stuff, but they are comparable and stuff. And with these, I don't know. Tyler's rocking them. We used them on the field. I was very impressed with them. They're small, easy to handle and stuff. And we're putting them into our compact, waterproof, um, long term duration audio recorders, weatherproof housing and stuff. So it's going to be a lot easier to um, hide a device out in the woods instead of a big parabolic mic and stuff. No, these are just like a little like earbuds type things, but they're not earbuds, they're mics. So they pick up things, the microphones. They're not shotgun mics, they're just little like earbud mics, but they are incredibly good. Surprisingly good. Really surprisingly good to the point where if you're rocking them on you and stuff, you have some like super bionic ears and it's pretty much all directions and stuff. Or you can bring them together to point or you separate them and stuff. So it's a little bit more versatile than a single parabolic mic would be, where it's kind of directional. You have to make sure you're pointing it in the right direction to get the best overall quality sound. Whereas these are kind of more open, and then we could bring them together to direct them. So it's kind of cool. And also, we could hook them up and make a little cone and have them inside a cone and have a parabolic thing going on with it also, because that would just funnel the sounds directly into it more, but make it directional. So yeah, that's it's coming along. What are we at? An hour and 12 minutes. All right, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, pretty much hoping to get out in the woods all this week. We got a few different places that I'll be hitting up. I don't know. I got to check the weather. I had some reports of some crazy weather coming in, but ideally, if I can, try to get out. Doesn't look like this. It's going to be anything besides Tuesday. I got a couple things I got to do, but I try to get out to different places during this week, and then got some solo trips coming up where I'm going to be planning to go out by myself. I haven't really decided the area because there's a couple different areas, and again, it's like which one to go. No matter which place I go, I'm always going to feel like this is the wrong choice. There's some activity over here, especially when nothing goes on. You're always like, man, if I would have went to that other spot, I know something would have happened. And but so I'm kind of narrowing it down and stuff. I'm thinking either I'm going to stay out in a tent and camp, or I'm literally going to be walking miles and miles and miles on a trail. I haven't decided if I want to plant myself into a spot with a tent, do a little fire thing, or if I just want to push in and walk the trails and just walk it all night. and then go back to the car and kind of do that. The tent camping would be more off trail into a spot where that's kind of what I would be doing, and then going from the camp spot, and the trail would be walking a couple miles on these really good trail systems, or I go to a completely other different spot and try my luck at some old spots that I used to go to, or make an extended trip and take a couple hour drives and go somewhere up north, which I've been thinking, but it's kind of hard to get the boys to get time off work and plan everything where everything lines up. So we got to go up north and trying to plan that. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go, honestly, but I do plan on doing that here in about 2 weeks, doing a solo trip. And basically, if I was going to walk the trail system, one night I'd be walking one set, and then the next night I'd be walking a different set. If I go up north, I'm going to be going up to a pretty rugged, remote area where I'll be fully strapped the whole time, where nothing but good swamps and stuff. I could go to this one spot where there'll be a little bit extra drive, but there's so many spots I haven't really decided, and trying to get out and stuff. I really want to try to. I don't know, man. It's just too hard sometimes. It's really too hard. Going to go up north, up to the UP, and I might be doing that solo, or I might have a tag along person, but that's kind of the plans for right now as we get it towards September 28th. We're just trying to get more and more evidence. I am at the conference going to show unreleased audio evidence of a witness who heard this creature outside and started recording off her cell phone inside the house. And you see you can tell she's pretty frightened at what she's hearing outside. And I, again, randomly came across this piece of evidence by talking to her daughter and bringing up Bigfoot. And it's just like, well, wait a minute. My mom recorded something. We don't know what it was, but it's something. And this is actually in an area where I have had encounters at, actually, growing up. So, and this is pretty awesome stuff, actually. I haven't released it, haven't shown anyone it, but it's pretty interesting vocalization and tree snapping. And this video was taken years before I came across this person. And I've spent a whole year vetting this person just to make sure that I'm not getting something pulled over me. And I don't, I don't see it. I don't think it. So I'm pretty excited to show that at the conference and stuff. And trying to get an interview set up. Parents don't want to, so of course, which is understandable. But you're going to be able to get the daughter and stuff. They don't want us at their house, so I won't have access to that particular property to even do an interview. But at the same time, we at least have the daughter and stuff come on camera and tell a story. So we're trying to, I think, do that here maybe next month. I just haven't. I just really haven't made the time. I haven't really had the time, but I haven't really made the time. But I have set it all up, and we all know that it's going to happen, and just kind of have to set a date, actually. Hey, Lockbeard, how's it going? How's it going? Maybe it was the Bigfoot matrix powers. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. It's just He got lucky. I don't know. That's pretty interesting. It's anyways, probably go on the Beast System on the Rumble show this Thursday, and we'll be talking about it. They actually did a show without me today because I was getting ready for this and doing other things and too busy. They actually covered what happened today, so you can jump on the Beast System on Rumble with the lion logo, and is Emily, Melissa, and myself. And of course, you could hear them, fantastic ladies, talk about what happened today and give them their opinions, their thoughts. So go over there after this show, check that out. If you guys want to get into that, it is a kind of a political talk show that we do. Dive into a little bit everything, sometimes the darker side, a little bit conspiracy side, the spiritual side of things also. So that is kind of what that show is about. So I'm excited and stuff. I'm excited about the conference and camping after the conference because, to be frank, the most important stuff about the Sasquatch stuff is going to be found in the woods, not at a conference, not on the show, but actually being in the woods. You know, that's where we discover stuff. That's where the evidence is. That's where the action is taking place. You know, as much as I like coming on here and having fun and enjoying myself. Oh, I did notice that. Oh, I guess I do have oh, oh, I just noticed this. I had a comment earlier about the green screen thing. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Oh, yeah, a little green screen right there. I just noticed that too. That's kind of funny. And it distracted me so bad, especially with I don't know what you're talking about now, Lockbeard. Oh, no. No, they're these are conservative leaning women or you know, that way leaning and stuff. I wouldn't say full blown conservatives, you know, because everyone's different and everyone has their opinion. But at the same time, it's not a left leaning podcast show politic wise. I don't lean anyway, one way or the other. Yeah, usually, you know, most of the time it does. But, you know, I think that most of the time they're all pedophiles. So that's my opinion on it. So that's my opinion. It's most likely that they're all the same thing. That's why there's no list that came out. So we dive into that a little bit more on that show. So I'll throw that out there for you guys. So that's what we get into, some heavier stuff like that. Not a full blown regular policy show and all that. So, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, especially after today. I'm sure. Who knows? And you know, it's not even getting started because things are only going to heat up and stuff. You know, we still have couple more months before real stuff happens and stuff. So if you want to hear about the opinions on the debate, we did a show on the debate. If you want to hear the opinions about, you know, going forward with issues with the current president, obviously stuff that happened now, what's going to happen in the future with primaries, debates, you know, things like that. That B system shows where it's going to be at. So you can probably hear some of that on there. Maybe I would do a Rumble show and give my opinions a little bit more freely because YouTube has issues with freedom of speech and has issues of spreading of factual information because many companies it's coming out that many companies were censoring information for a couple of years for a couple variety of topics. So I might get in trouble for saying just that. I'm not sure. YouTube is kind of being a little finicky. Doesn't really matter and stuff. So Rumble would probably be a good place I could really get into Rumble would be a good place to give my opinion without the worry and need and for ultimatums to be made. You better not say this or this is going to happen. I don't like that. It's like, okay, well, we can start over. That's not an issue if it really came down to it. And my Facebook page is dedicated kind of towards that stuff too, is exposing a lot of the crap that I see when I feel, and a lot of people might not like it, disagree with it, think it's kind of out there, and at the same time, there's a plenty of information that you could go around and look around and check and see, and you make your own opinions and thoughts on it. That's all I've ever said on here, and I just try to show things and give my opinion and make you guys a little bit more open-minded instead of just believing whatever is regurgitated out or whatever you see on the TV screen. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys, let's keep it civil. There's free speech in this chat of mine. I'm not a asshole and I'm gonna say, you're in timeout or you're kicked out or this and that. You're two grown adults. If you guys don't like each other, you guys can't handle it, or you guys are gonna get into it. Okay, you guys can carry that somewhere else and stuff, right? At the same time, I'm not going to censor you guys. I don't know. I have no idea if you guys are mouthing off at each other for a while now or what the conversation is about. I have to go and read all this. But you're both here watching the show. You both at least have something in common. So you can agree to disagree and stuff, I don't know. Everyone has their own opinion about everyone, so I'm not going to censor everyone and say, you shouldn't think this about this person or that. I think some ways about other people. I don't like certain people I come across, and other people might have different opinions about it. But at the same time, But I would say, come on, keep it cool and stuff if you guys can. And I'm not, Mr. Duffy, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers and stuff like that. I allow other people of different opinions, even of my own, to be in this chat as long as, there's no foaming at the mouth and stuff. So, but a Lockbeard, there's no SmackDown that's going to be coming and stuff. So come on, don't be saying that. But no, Mr. Duffy, I appreciate and stuff, but what you are doing and all that. So I don't want you to feel like you're, getting tossed aside or a certain way. It's just people can say what they want on here, and other people can look at it and decide what they want and stuff. That's just how it is. And see, and I didn't officially invite Lockbeard to my channel. Lockbearder's been showing up here for probably at least a year or more, and I acknowledge him. Sometimes he says stuff that I disagree with. Sometimes he calls me out and says, that's fucking bullshit or whatever. And you know what? I look at it and I acknowledge it and stuff. Sometimes it's good to hear some of that stuff. Don't agree with everything that he does. I'm sure he doesn't agree with everything that I do. Same thing with about practically everyone. Have I personally come across anything with Mr. Lockbeard that would turn my gut around and say, he's a piece of shit and I don't want him here in my channel and I'm going to block him? No, I have not personally come across that, but I haven't blocked Josh from my channel. I haven't blocked really about any other people that I probably would, because they would do stupid stuff. But at the same time, so let's just keep it civil. If you guys feel the need to actually jump on and stuff, you guys can do a show, all that. But yeah, maybe Lockbeard, you should calm down a little bit. It's everything, doesn't need to be made into something. You don't need to be so emotional. I'm not saying you are being emotional. I'm just saying in general, as people, as a man or as a woman, you don't need to take everything so literally and emotionally. Don't let things get you upset. If you let everything get you upset in a certain way, then that's how you can be controlled. If any random person on the YouTube can say something to you in a comment and cause you to get upset and stuff, that person is able to control you in a way where, well, now you're not happy like you were. Well, now you're not the same person you were. Now you're cranky, or you're something other than you were, right? And it has affected you. If you let it affect you, it's going to cause more issues for you. Mainly, you're just going to think about it and stuff like that. Kind of like some of the other people I, made some comments about, they get too emotional about things, and they, you know, the people need to not get emotional. Everyone has different opinions. I mean, so, but I'm not paying attention to the chat, but I would like you guys to kind of be civil if you guys could. Everyone has different opinions about everyone. I don't know what to say besides that. I am not going to. My channel's not influenced by other people's opinions and disagreements about other people and stuff like that. My channel's influenced about what I think, what I feel, what have I experienced, or what I see with people and stuff like that. If I was going to block someone or do things like that. So, yeah, a real piece of crap I think that we've talked about is that wolf boy. I think that anyone who knows what's going on, or you don't even really have to pay attention. It just comes up randomly in different places. There's some real people out there, some real snakes out there, and to actually go after people and hurt people and cause other people to hate on other people, to go cause disruptions and cause real issues and stuff. And I think we all know who that is and stuff. And so, bickering over, you know, you can bicker over whatever on. You can have your opinion and stuff. I'm just saying I'm going to stay neutral on that. And there's bigger fish to fry. There's just big, yeah. Anyways, so Lockbeard's, he could be here and give his opinion, and it might be an asshole, goofy ass opinion that makes no sense to a people. But you know what? I'm gonna read the goofy ass opinion that might not make any sense, and I might consider it. I'm not gonna censor him because he's not liked, and Blackbeard's talk shit about me and stuff. I'm not gonna get all butthurt and think, well, he's a piece of shit because he said that. Because he had an opinion of me. He was critical of me. I do stupid shit. Everyone does stupid shit. It happens. Everyone's opinions of me is not always going to be the same. It's not going to be nice. My opinions of people are not always going to be nice. Not going to be the same as yours. You might think that Wolf Boy is a really good person that you believe wholeheartedly, and he's really nice. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. So that doesn't mean that we should hate each other, or we have to get into it or stuff like that. So, I think as, people, we can take a little bit heat, a little criticism without actually going nuclear and stuff. Most of the time we think most of us have a lot of things in common that we can agree on, and it's more easy to take comments out of context and to feel a certain way, or to have things that come across as a certain way through comments and texting, instead of on here voicing your opinion with expression and actually coming across how you want. I don't know, Lockbeard. You'd have to ask him. Lockbeard says, Josh can't seem to shake loose the drama. So the question is he just keeping the drama train rolling? Pretty much told me that is not the case, but it never stops. Well, it doesn't ever stop because it's just another thing with Mr. Bartonelli, which again, I was in this group, friends with all these people who, all this crap way before all this stuff went out and done. I've been in Barton's group for years and stuff, and now there's more issues going on with there, and you can go on Barton's Facebook and you can read what was posted, and I have a lot of mutual friends that are seeing this and seeing what's going on, and it's just more of the same. And the most common thing is, well, everyone else is lying besides Josh and his family. They're all lying, even though he was my best friend. Well, he's lying now. Everything he says is a lie. There's some common things, common threads, evidence coming out, stuff that is proving that this guy is simply just not who he is. Who you see on there, he's not this nice paranormal guy. I've got some videos that people just showed me a couple days ago of videos that he's posted that he's taken down, of him making more threats, of his whole demeanor changes, of him looking at the camera and saying, basically, I'm not the person you want to mess with. Does this look like the person you want to mess with? And of course, he's trying to look all scary, a little psychotic. That's some venomous, toxic stuff in the community that should be called out. And it seems to have issues with everyone and everyone that crosses him. And he has issues. I think he has issues, and people who live in drama all their lives probably are just used to the drama, and they probably need it. So, and that's the thing, just realize that, hey, Lockbeard's going to be an asshole. Try not to take it out to heart, because I don't think he means it, like, most of the time directly towards you, but that's about it, anyways. So hopefully, Mr. Duffy, if you see this, you watch this again, I don't want you to be upset. You are always welcome in the chat. You have equal footing, just as Lockbeard. I know you probably don't agree with that, but at the same time, that's just how it is, my channel, man. There's a lot of people who can come in this chat, pop off, and say some stupid ass shit. That doesn't mean I'm going to directly ban them and stuff. If they want to act like an asshole and expose themselves as being a piece of shit, bigger than what Lockbeard's ever been doing in my chat, then they can do that, and people can see that that's how they're going to be and stuff. I mean, just like we had the chat with towards the end with Josh and his Anthony and all his family in the chat groveling. If you don't know what groveling is, look up the definition of groveling, because that's what they were doing in the chat towards the end. And it was pathetic. It shows their character, but it's just more of the same. So I don't need to make a piece or anything or do anything about it. It's hilarious that it's never going to stop. And that's kind of what I've always pointed out. So, but other than that, there's not much to talk about with that guy. Just more of the same. And other than he has issues, I do think that, because I was in the chat. I was watching the live show, and Josh happened to be a speaker. And this is a show that I've watched well before Josh ever got friends with him, with the host. I watched this show, talked to this person, know this person, before I ever knew Josh or came across this. And like all these other channels he's affiliated with, all I did was say, hi, everyone. Like I always do in chats. I don't talk in chats. I'm usually busy doing other things, but I'm listening to the show, and I will say, hi, everyone. And because I'm not going to sit there and take minutes and minutes and minutes and tag every single person who tags me. I appreciate everyone who does it and stuff, but I give a general, hey, everyone type of thing, because there's just too many people to sit out there and keep going back and forth when I'm dealing with my son, I'm cooking, I'm doing something else, I'm driving. That's all I said. And you see literally Josh, he stopped everything and focuses on my comment. And I don't know what was going on, what kind of issues, but there are some issues going on with that. That kind of reaction from seeing that, I don't know, but I think that's good sneak peek of what we're dealing with. And there's some more of that stuff too, with all of a sudden be set off like that, and you can see it in his face and stuff that something is off. That's my opinion. I'm not gonna say it's fact. It's my opinion. So it's my observation and stuff. Because I just happened to see that. Oh, hey, this the one show that I try to tune in and listen to every once in a while is on, and we go check in, and then oh, look at the guest. Well, I'm still gonna say hi because I always do that anyway. So didn't mess with them, didn't say anything, wasn't bad, didn't say you're a piece of shit, you're a snake, whatever the fuck. I just said hi, everyone. And if you see the reaction that he has, I think it's very telling of why you don't let other people and stuff influence you so much that literally some random bimbo on YouTube can just say hi and then set you off in such a way that it directly shuts you down to where you can't even talk about the thing you were talking about. You just literally stop the entire show to stare at this one comment. See, now that is something that you can't allow to happen. You ever can't get into a place where you'll let a person, I don't give a fuck. If a person says whatever kind of opinion they have about you, okay, cool. Go ahead. Have the opinion. Don't let it affect me. I don't give a shit. What are you going to do? Bitch and complain more? Nice opinion. You can't let yourself get affected so greatly that you hear stuff and you have to respond. You feel the need to win. Oh, this person was talking shit and now look at him. He changed. He's a hypocrite. And laugh about it and think you're feeling high and mighty. You're running on full emotions at that point. You're not thinking logically. You can't operate and stuff. And when you see that and stuff, that's why I think that there's drama over there all the time, is because you react into it, you're engaged into it, and you're living it all the time, and you're emotionally invested. So that's my opinion of what keeps going on over there, is this emotional investment and a bunch of people who just lie to each other and record each other's phone calls and text messages to hold against each other if they ever go against each other. That's what their friendships and groups do. So and that's kind of what I've said was gonna happen. Kind of that person. But that's enough about that. You guys can see and hear it from him and from other people that are shown actual evidence of actual lies with actual receipts and stuff like that, conversations, instead of just believing what a person tells you on phone call conversation, because any snake with a tongue can blow smoke up your ass. So yeah, what are we at? Almost 2 hours and stuff. We'll probably shut the show down at 2 hours. No one wanted to jump in the show. Probably a good thing Lockbeard and Duffy didn't jump in at the same time. They would have been karate chopping each other. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to tell what two men to do and what opinions they should have of each other and stuff, because I have my own opinions. So, but we'll try to keep this open and stuff, as long as you're not posting spam links, you're not foaming at the mouth, really swearing and going. That's unbelievably uncontrollable. We've had some heated debates on stuff on here and close to shutting it down, but we had some pretty good outcomes because of that too. But not necessarily what the channel is about. I appreciate everyone in the chat who was trying to moderate and keep things uh, contained. I definitely appreciate that. Um, yeah. So yes. Anyways, because people are people. So let's just, you got to learn to give some. You got to learn to tolerate. You got to learn to stand up for yourself, though, too. But at the same time, most of the time, people don't really aren't really trying to poke you in the heart when they criticize you. Most of the time it's the criticization of an action or something you said. So not necessarily of you entirely or of your soul and things like that. Come on now. But when the link is in the chat and stuff, anyone can come on. You don't have to show your face. You can be like this. I just ask that you common sense rule set come to mind. No nonsense stuff. But you can disagree. You can, I would say, argue a little bit. Just don't be foaming at the mouth, emotionally swearing at a person and uncontrollably, emotionally uncontrollable. Like it's not a good look to have, and it screams immaturity, and it doesn't scream professionalism. And all it says is that you just don't know how to control yourself at all. So don't know how to handle yourself. Don't know how to handle criticism. Don't know. Never seemingly knew how to do that. So I've been in a lot of different situations that thankfully taught me patience and to control myself. There's been, although I would say it took a lot of years and stuff. And as any normal, regular man, sometimes you got to control yourself, There's a lot of things as people and stuff that, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So a little bit of control definitely needed and definitely help you. Again, same with some push-ups. You got to have control because if it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're uncontrollable up here and you're so emotional and anyone can get your feathers ruffled up by saying any stupid ass comment on YouTube, then what does that say about you? You're not really dependable, in my opinion, because you're just going to get ruffled up at any sign of distress. So I like people who can handle a little bit of poke. So I would just say that's what, people a little bit more need to try to strive for. So. All right, 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. Any questions, comments, concerns, put them in chat. We're going to start ending the stream down. Probably going to do another stream maybe on Wednesday around 7 o'clock. I want to say maybe later, but I'm going to try to shoot for 7. Yeah. The link will be in the chat for that show. We'll try to have some more videos and stuff ready for that one. And then the next Saturday won't be having a show. And then it will be probably on a Wednesday. And then we'll see. Saturdays get a little hard, so might be every other Saturday I might be able to do. But like I said, Mondays or Wednesdays, a little bit earlier. We can always slip in the shows during that time. So try to keep it up and with more evidence and audio evidence that I look through and actual things that are caught. I'll bring it to you guys' attention. Another 15 hours worth of audio. There wasn't really anything there. There's nothing significant to bring of any interest. So there's really no point to show it or talk about it other than the fact there's normal nighttime ambient sounds. So well, that's just how it is. So hours and hours spent on stuff that, doesn't yield much, but at the same time, you're still practicing and bettering your skills and streamlining the process of how to analyze audio through a spectrogram and what to look for, what to spot, what audio signatures in the spectrogram pick up and look like could be something. So you only recognize that through experience. And I still say you still need to try to listen to it and not skip through it and look and rely on the spectrogram. If you rely only on the spectrogram, you will miss stuff. You will miss subtle stuff that is in the background of things that when you listen to the headphones, you're like, I can hear this in the background. I'm not really seeing it on the spectrogram, but it is there. And of course, those are sounds there could be far, far away or low sounds, stuff like that. So it is a process. A lot of too much time, but I have not been able to listen to, what we did about close to 50 hours worth of audio and stuff. Probably more now, actually, with these recent ones. And I have not listened to 50 hours worth of audio nonstop. I mean, that is just, I just feasibly just do not have the time to do that. I mean, I would have to stay up all night or do, stay up and do 5 hours a night, right? 10 different nights. And that's not having any new audio coming in, right? So it's almost impossible, but you do need to physically listen to chunks of it when you think something's going on. And so I think that's where AI is going to come into play, is we're going to have some AI analyzers that can look at the audio and listen to the audio and pick out, hey, there's this, and this, and this. And then we can manually go look at it and stuff. It will pick up those signatures for us of what we program it of interest and stuff. So I'm kind of interested in that. And streamlining, same thing with video. Of you could teach a computer program to analyze, Bigfoot faces out of a tree. You would teach it very, very optimal quality faces that it should try to pick up, instead of random patterns in bushes and trees and stuff, like which most people try to do. So we could get some AI programs that could analyze shapes and furs and color textures, changes that are not in the environment, so they could pick out an animal's fur texture, color, patterns out of foliage, and then have the computer draw the red line, I guess, right? But the computer be able to tell that there's an actual animal in here based on the signatures of the textures of the fur composition, the way it patterns against the foliage, the recognition of that, or that a computer might be able to do with better cameras and stuff. But a lot of cameras are becoming 8K cameras now and stuff like that. So we're getting better technology, 5K, 8K. TVs already have this stuff. So with the more resolution means more data in there and more quality of graphics that we could take from those. So it's going to come. Matter of, I mean, in 10 years, we should have, in 5 years, with AI assistance, we should be able to make programs to be like, check the audio for me, check the video for me. I want you to tell me if this type of sound or this comes up. In 10 years, if we don't have that, then we're not doing anything in the Bigfoot community. We're not revolutionizing. So AI assistance to help Bigfoot evidence and data reports is going to be a big thing, and going to be accessible to everyone. I mean, everyone's going to have a little AI assistant on the computer here in the next 10 years, and it's going to be able to surf the internet and provide information to you. And you can be able to give me a graph on this data points, show me this, provide me a 5-page document on real information based off of this. Chat GTP can already do that, but it's not hooked up to the internet with factual information ready to go like that, where you can actually have source information included. Chat GPT just does it itself and doesn't be able to do all that yet. But The ones that are released to the public, anyways, can't do that. Well, I appreciate everyone again watching the show, watching it on Rumble, watching it on Facebook. I appreciate everyone who is going to take the time to watch this afterwards. I hope you all are having a blessed weekend, and there's a lot of craziness going on around in our country, especially today. But you got to. I would say, you got to pray and stuff and have faith that things are going to be better, and take a stand and make sure that you help make things better. And even if you can only do a little bit at a time, a little effort is very important. It can help a multitude of things. And, even a little smile can go a long way. So even a simple smile can help brighten up someone's day. So, yeah, Chat GTP PG blah 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 is yeah, it's programmed and stuff. It's not hooked up to the internet. It's not it's controlled and stuff still. It's not I don't think they're ever going to give us something that isn't programmed and controlled in some sort of way. Of course, because we could really do a number of things with AI assistant bots that could, because there's AI bots that can hack stuff. There's AI bots that you can program and send in to do stuff. We already have those things. Our cyber defenses are dealing with that all the time. But it's not at everyone's fingertips. Like the next 10 years, that stuff could be at everyone's fingertips where it's literally not going to be hard to use the AI assistant bot to do nefarious things, to do criminal things, to hack things, to try to. It just all it does is it just does everything more efficiently and faster compared to if you would just take the same time to do it yourself. So we are going to see an advent of, and we do see it with AI. Oh, I think I can show a little bit of stuff right now. I don't know why I didn't make this video up, but I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm gonna play a little bit of his and of AI voice generation stuff where you can make a person say anything you want, and it's gonna become an issue where they'll take your voice and then you know call a family member and say, "Oh my God, I've been in an accident. I need you to send money to this account. I'm going to be at this hospital." Click the phone, and all of a sudden, this family member's, "Oh my God, what's happening? I don't know. I better do this," or whatever the scam is. People usually try to take the money, but at the same time, you could get that voice to say anything. Get that voice to call your kid's school and say, "Hey, I'm sending this person to pick her up." Blah 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 blah. A lot of different situations where you can use someone else's voice and to trick and to steal and to do a lot of different things. So give me 1 second while I pull up this video. I don't know. This might get a little copyright issue because it's going to have audio and it's going to be someone else's YouTube and all that. But at the same time, this is fair use in the fact that I'm spreading the information of the possibility of what AI is going to happen and what issues we're facing and how, of course, how important it is. So YouTube has policies, but policies aren't the law. So if I ever do get dropped from YouTube for them being too woke, I will go on Rumble and I guess won't hold back as much, I guess. Even though they censor and stuff over there too. Oh, maybe I'll go on X and stuff, Who knows? It doesn't really matter because the most important thing is being out in the woods and going out there and finding the evidence. And I could shut the channel down right now. I don't need to talk to any single person. I don't need to collaborate with other researchers. All I need to do is go out there and get the shit, get evidence, get the actual encounter on film, get it captured enough that when you do show it to someone or anyone or everyone, it is so in your fucking face, legitimate, that it's not, oh, this is just bullshit and stuff. And of course, that is the most optimal thing that we want to happen. But the community is great, and there's I love a lot of people in it. But that's not what's necessarily going to find Bigfoot. I think it's going to help, but getting out in the fucking woods and just doing the work, that's what it's about. And too many people are too busy making shows and doing this and writing books and so this is gonna be funny if I don't blast my eardrums out. How come this is not playing? All right. And this is from the AI Guys channel on YouTube. And this is kind of funny, actually. So let's show this and show you what we already have now. This is already technology we have. You can make someone say whatever you want as long as you have enough of them on air and enough voice captures that you can. So like people on TV, enough podcast hours and stuff, you can basically have me saying whatever you want, which is kind of scary to think about. But so we are going to take a look and listen to this D&D mayhem with AI celebrities, and this is the AI Guys channel. And so they are playing a D&D game with different celebrities.
You literally did nothing that entire fucking fight.
That's because I didn't get a turn. If I did, you'd be eating your words right now.
Great. Now we're going to be associated with chaos.
And you can clearly see
I am the embodiment of chaos.
You're the embodiment of a piece of shit.
Why the fuck are you so angry, dude? Do you have issues?
I'll tell you what, Tronald, I'll stop being angry when I find where that fucking smell is coming from.
Man, you really need to let that go. We've got bigger issues now.
As a matter of fact.
So as you can see, we got Samuel L. Jackson in there. We got Gordon Ramsay. We got Elon Musk. We got Donald Trump. And you can watch multiple hours of them playing. There's 6 hours in this video of them playing like a D&D game. And I came across this and I was like, what the heck? This is hilarious. And just shows that we have the technology to make up whatever you want. So it is a little scary. It's kind of neat. It's kind of funny. I'll play a little bit more of this and stuff. They're probably going to be swearing and doing a bunch of things, I'm guessing, because it's seems to be what it is.
Genius brain of mine functioning at full capacity. But let's be real here. The people who think they're all that just because they can throw some ingredients together and call it art are deluding themselves. It's not like they're performing.
As your eldritch blast hurls toward the hexed undead. Now it's the turn of another zombie.
And then literally,
shambles
Joe Rogan
in Gilroy's direction. It raises its decaying limbs and aims a forceful slam attack at you. That's a natural 20 with 6 damage total.
So they are literally going to play this entire D&D game, and it's nothing but AI bots and stuff. And it's Joe Rogan, Trump, Elon Musk, and a bunch of other celebrities. And he actually has some other videos on his channel, shorts and other things. But yeah, of course, it's not working.
Hey, folks, here we are.
So yeah, D&D campaigns and AI voice stuff. So it just shows you what can actually be done right now with enough time and ingenuity. So, I would say that something we have to be mindful of when we hear stuff on the TV or we hear something from someone in the future. We're going to have some systems in place to have some verification, because you're going to get a phone call from your family member and it's a scam and it's an emergency, and in those situations I think it's going to be pretty crazy and stuff. So another topic that we're going to talk on the next show is audio and like infrasound waves, but audio waves that are used as weapons and stuff. Of course, we already have some of that in the military. We are going to show other examples of audio resonating frequencies being used to influence people to eat more, to be more peaceful, to influence people to be angry, to influence people to disperse an area and stuff. One example I've read, but I'm trying to find the article again, is certain places. I think this was talked about in New York. Certain places that would have a frequency blasting that under a certain age group would hear it and would get annoyed and stuff and would disperse them away, while older people above a certain age limit wouldn't be able to hear the same frequency noise, wouldn't get influenced, and wouldn't feel the need to leave and stuff. So there's audio acoustic technology directed audio frequencies at people to influence their mind. This stuff is very real. We're going to show patents, we're going to show articles, we're going to show devices, we're going to show stuff that's already out. It's not fake, it's not conspiracy, it's not fringe science. It's real technology that people are working on right now. The US military has some of that. So how does, people always think or saying, oh, I got zapped, or being zapped is like this happens. And you can have audio hallucinations through audio sound waves and frequencies that are messing with your brain, messing with your eyes, where it can fuzz out or you start hallucinating a little bit. I don't know if that means seeing purple dragons or if you just start whatever. I'm not sure, but we're going to look into some of that and theorize and speculate the possible ways and influences maybe that Bigfoot sound waves could play on the human body if they're able to hit a certain frequency note or a tonage and is powerful enough it could direct it at someone. We're going to show some examples of how modern humans do it with technology, with different frequencies and different outcomes and different purposes. So, I think the most basic zapped symptom is confusion. I got zapped and I'm a little bit confused. I'm getting lost. And maybe that is there's some real actual data in there. There's some real science behind this infrasound frequency. But I would say frequency and sound waves, different frequencies, because that's not just the tuning of the frequencies and stuff to adjusting how it will affect the people and stuff, instead of just a single note. A single note doesn't really do nothing, but you play a specific single note, you might feel a little nauseous. You play a certain sound, you might feel a little headachy and stuff. You go up to an electrical outlet or a transformer or a box, and you can hear that humming. That's an electrical frequencies that you could hear the humming. Okay, that's sound wave coming off of it, the frequency. So we're going to look into that, some of the directed stuff that we have. It's in articles, it's in newspapers. This is stuff that is not conspiracy. This is stuff, there's patents for it. I think we already showed a patent for it. for one of the stuff. So we're going to be showing that hopefully next show, if I get everything prepared enough and I got time. So just always depends on that. But I appreciate everyone for watching. It's been 2 hours. I think we're going to shut the show down. Yeah, so I will have the link to come on the show next time. Maybe we'll do some push-ups. Maybe not. Lockbeard, why do you got to distract me with that, man? I do not want my future wife, robot wife, to be AI. She don't need to have a mind of her own. That is one of the things that I'm sure the next 10 and 20 years will be on the chopping block for us to deal with. So great. But in the meantime, before we get to the Terminator phase of the world, let's try to go out there and appreciate nature, try to find a little bit of mystery out there, but go about it smart, go about it prepared. Prepare yourself mentally, physically, prepare your gear, know your route, have your maps, let people know where you are. Don't take silly chances and risks that you don't need to take. And just keep open mind of what could possibly be out there and be ready for something to happen if you need it. That's about all you can do out there. Honestly, just prepare yourself and be ready, and hopefully maybe something safely happens. You don't need to get yourself hurt or killed out there for a picture of Bigfoot or anything like that. It's not worth it. Of course, there's plenty of people and family members who would miss you. So let's go about this smart, sensible, and cool, calm, and collective, because I think that's the way to go about it. Not emotional, not crazy, not aggressively going after them violently. Cool, calm, and collective. I think we can get some of the better interactions like that. So if you want to check out some interaction, you can look at Jason Kenzie and Blake Deutscher's Bigfoot encounter in the UP. That is a 4K resolution raw footage of me and Jason's Bigfoot encounter up in the UP. You can find it on this channel. It was also featured in Searching for Sasquatch number 3 and number 4 a little bit, I think. It was a 2-parter kind of a thing, but it was number 3 and number 4, or 2 and 3, 3 and 4. One of those. It's been a couple years. But you can find the encounter on there. Which, again, you just never know what can happen. Always be prepared and just be calm, cool, and collective. Be smart. And if your gut feeling is telling you to leave an area, get out of an area, this isn't safe, listen to your gut feeling. Your gut can be correct even when your mind has no logical reason to trust your gut. Sometimes it's really good to trust your gut. I do. It has came in clutch, handy so many times. It is proven to be right more than enough times that I am sensible enough to listen to it. So I do. So anyways, God bless each and every one of you. I think we should pray for America and pray for everyone, our families, and a restoration of our country, because we clearly need it. We have so many issues going on, and we can't be looking for Bigfoot if there's chaos in the streets of America, so we need a come together and stuff. So that's about it. I appreciate everyone for taking the time to watch this. If you have any comments, concerns, advice, a little bit of critique, you're welcome to voice that in the chat and comments and stuff. Just don't make it some dumbass comment, because everyone has a brain and I expect you to use it. And if you don't use it and stuff, don't expect. I don't like stupid people doing stupid shit. So I do call out stupid comments, but if I know that it's not overly just dumb, it won't be called out on. But there's some people, it's just like, there's been comments made and it's just like dumb. You know, you have a brain, use it and tell me why, not just stupid ass blanket remarks and stuff. You know, explain reasons why. That particular one was from a person which I expected a little bit more from, but it is what it is. People are people, right? So, but you're free to make your comment and stuff. You know, I'm a human. Everyone's human. I like to hear what everyone says and stuff, even if I disagree. This isn't a channel where I censorship everyone, where I delete comments. I don't delete comments. All the comments that have ever been posted on here are still on here. Even the bad ones, the ones that are calling me out, the trolls, Wolf's buddies, and all of them. They're all on here. I don't put up a video then take it down because of whatever reason, and then put it back up, and then take it down, and delete this and do that. If I make a video and I put something up, I stand by it. I'm going to put it up until it actually changes and stuff. There's too many people who try to take a stand and do something, but they're too fickle and change their mind too often that it doesn't really mean anything when they put anything out at the same time. So, all right, with that, peace out.